Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how are you today? Well, in today's video, this was brought to my attention by one of you guys, okay? And this has to do with grains, with the production going down and things like that, like corn and wheat, okay? Prices are rising until feedstock supplies rise and things like that, okay? This article was sent to me and it's interesting, especially when it comes to farmers, livestock, and everything else. The recent run-up in the grains has prompted numerous questions, all right? Now, the grain complex has been in demand. Led bull market since last fall, driven by massive feed grain demand, primarily from China. Here we go, China. As they rebuild their hog herd by moving to large-scale commercial production and restricting what smaller farmers can feed their hogs. A smaller than expected U.S. corn harvest last year added fuel to the fire. And the race was on in South America to plant fence row to fence row. And they did, but weather issues shaved off production potential in Brazil and Argentina, adding yet more fuel to the unrelenting bull market. Brazil's second season corn crop was planted late because their soybeans were planted late and then ran into harvest delays. That pushed the winter corn growing season later into the normally dry period. That crop is now entering pollination, already under drought stress with no relief in sight. With most of Brazil's corn exports coming from this second season crop, world buyers are scrambling to secure summer needs elsewhere. So this is going to hurt that economy. And that means primarily the U.S. and to a much lesser extent, Ukraine. China made the switch early and aggressively, booking huge amounts of U.S. old crop corn for summer delivery, and that is a problem given our short crop last summer. If everyone remembers that, weren't there an extensive amount of fires? I think I remember that. Commercials have watched cash march steadily higher, led by huge basis bids on top of soaring future prices. And cash corn prices are then double what they were just about 9 months ago. There isn't enough old crop corn to go around, and export commitments to China are making commercials very nervous. Why do we make these promises to China? Why? I'll never understand. China isn't showing any willingness to push sales to new crop. And if they demand delivery this summer, price action could get really crazy. We expect prices to move steadily higher in demand-driven bull markets. But this is eye-popping. Commercials getting out of short positions are driving prices higher as we head into the May delivery period, not speculators. This tells us the move is not over yet, and we may get a correction, but the longer-term uptrend will remain solid until at least feed grade stocks are increasing. Now, given the expected planted acres for corn and soybeans, that is unlikely to happen this year, suggesting the bull market could last into the next South American season and likely 2022 for the Northern Hemisphere as well. For wheat specifically, obviously, it will go higher as corn moves higher. Around the world, though, wheat is most common animal feed, but we are starting to see it here in the US as well. And basis bids have strengthened, particularly for hard red winter in the heavy cattle feeding areas across the southern and central plains. While old crop supplies are becoming tight, new crop potential is deteriorating. A heavy freeze 2 weeks ago did what appears to be extensive damage to headed out wheat in the southern plains. In the northern plains, drought conditions since last fall have lingered and are threatening new crop prospects for crops and cattle in Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, and stretching into Iowa. So this is all the very northern states up by like Canada, all up there. First notice day initially offered some relief to the grain complex, but by the end of today's trading session, front month May futures for both corn and soybeans had soared again, with the delivery May contract more than limit up, since it has not limit, and July corn closing limit up. Clearly, price has not moved up enough to ration demand, so there is likely more panic coming. The wheat complex saw spreads make big moves, with Minneapolis sharply higher against Chicago. Wow. Longer range weather forecasts show little chance for rain in the north, and spring wheat prospects are declining quickly. Yeah, you know what? That makes sense, because we're in our rainy season right now. We haven't had a drop of rain I want to say a good 3 weeks. And hurricane season starts in 5 days. So it's just strange. It's just strange. Huh. So this makes a lot of sense. The rest of the northern hemisphere's wheat crop is off to a decent start. We did see some winter kill in Russia that will force some abandonment of winter wheat acres. Production prospects are down from last year's record, even though wheat plantings are record large. A dry start to Europe has turned moist. Most of Ukraine and Romania look great, and production estimates are rising. So the wheat market isn't as clear cut as corn, but surging corn values will certainly support wheat prices. Price action for the grain complex appeared to have spiked with a blow-off top just a few days ago. But with today's price action, corn is clearly telling us the party isn't just over yet. Well, no. I'm still bothered about the fact that China is trying to do. Why do they always have to get involved? It just doesn't make sense. Wheat tends to rally into the May supply-demand report. This year, we will likely see that kind of action. The market is on high alert to weather issues and declining crop conditions. In winter and spring, wheat are building the weather premiums. Perhaps we will just test the recent highs into the crop report and call it a good at a double top. Yeah, for some reason, the weather is very strange. Okay. Just last week, okay, it was in like the high 90s. Like the feel-like temperature was 100 degrees, right? And then over the weekend, it was in the 70s during the day. Something's not right. And then, like I just said, we're in our rainy season. We haven't had rain. No, it's been longer than 3 weeks. So something seriously going on here. Something seriously is going on here. So my guess is that we will get a more sustained correction once the crop report is behind us, considering the U.S. planting season is going well. I think spring wheat will continue to gain against the winter wheats, as harvest pressure will make rallies different for hard red and soft red winter wheat. The bottom line is demand is torrid. Current supplies are very tight, and new crop supplies are expected to only be barely enough to satisfy current demand. There is no room for production losses. Any hint of weather issues in the U.S. Midwest and grains explode higher. The bull market is alive and well until we rebuild stocks, especially for corn and soybeans, but wheat as well, and that is unlikely to happen with this year's crop. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't care what anyone says. Something seriously going on. Because generally, growing up, did you ever hear that saying, April showers bring May flowers? Not even in April do I think we even had rain. So, yeah, there's something seriously going on here. This really makes you think. It really does. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay positive, keep prepping, and as always, fearless.